We I'm going to try to build one of these little Y-wing starfighters. Even though the box doesn't say it's 144, Bandai has released some combination kits where you can get the X-wing and the Y-wing, and they're calling it 144. So it's the same kit, so I'm assuming that this is going to be 144 also. Anyway, it is a small kit, and I am going to light it, so let's get it. Here's a quick test fit. As you can see, it's pretty tiny, but it still has a lot of detail. I mean, Bandai is obviously known for their detail. Everything's set to go, so I need to take it apart and start drilling some holes to figure out how to do the lighting, where the wires are going to go, and stuff like that. So I'm going to do some of that, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to start with the engines here, drilling the holes. And I have a drill bit here that's just the right size for the center hole. And then I have a 0.4 millimeter little drill bit that I'm going to use for the little holes that surround the big hole. So I'm going to go ahead and drill those, and then I'll come back and show you what they look like. Got the holes drilled. Came out pretty clean, which is good. Let me do a test. I'm going to use the red flickering LEDs. So that should give me very good looking engine exhaust there. So obviously it'll be painted and light blocked. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with some sort of housing to go around the LED so I can not only contain the light but control the light blocking. So let me think on that for a little bit, and then I'll come back and see what I came up with. I made some housings for the LEDs to go into. What I started with was some tube styrene. This is 1/8, and then this one is 3/16, and it telescopes so the smaller one will fit inside the larger one. So I did my measuring, and I cut with this rigid pipe cutter. Filed everything down smooth so there weren't any ragged edges or anything, and then glued the little piece inside the big piece. So that gives me a ridge inside here, so that when I push the LED in, it only goes in so far. And also, given the measurement of this, when I push it inside the engine housing, it gives me some distance between the back of the grill here and where the LED actually is. So I turn this on, I get a better light than I do if it's up against the back of that grill. I also sanded the LED so it's diffused. So I can paint the inside of the engine, the outside, and the housing for the LED, and that should be enough to light block everything. So now what I need to do is move on to drilling some holes for the wires to run. I have done some assembly on this piece, mostly just the back piece here I've glued in. These two side pieces and this back piece I've already glued into here. I have drilled a hole through the part at the bottom here where the pole's going to go, so the wires can go through there. And there are still some pieces that go on the two sides here, but I'll do that after I get some of the wiring taken care of. So what I've done on here is I have taken a small drill bit here and I drilled through here. This is the thickest part on this wing, so I drilled through here. I also drilled through the other side very slowly. So now I've got spot where my wires can run through, and then when I take one of the engine housing pieces, the wires can come through here, and then of course the LED engine part goes right here. So wire come through here, and then it can go through the bottom part. Same on the other side. Where's the right piece? Here it is. This side, the way it's done, I had to drill a hole here so that it matched up where that comes through, and then the wire come through there and to the LED. So I've got all that part figured out. The next part I need to figure out is, I think I'm going to get rid of the spots for the windows. Actually open all this up so that you have windows inside, and then obviously I'm going to have to do some modifications. Try to put some sort of little cockpit in here, because I want to put some lights inside here too. I mean, it's so tiny you're not going to see a whole lot, but you definitely will be able to see something inside, you know, pilot and some of the controls and stuff, and then some lights inside. I think it'll just kind of polish the kit off, just make it look that much more interesting. So I'm going to first figure out my line in here, draw that out, and then start cutting out where the cockpit's going to go. It's a small cockpit if I remember correctly, so it's only going to be something here in the middle that's going to come out, and then figure out how I'm going to do the lighting. So first thing I'm going to do is measure all this out, and then I'll cut that out and come back and show you. Drew out the spot I want to take out there with a pencil, and I took a drill bit here and just went all the way around. So what I'll do now is I'll take this little chisel tool and go in between all there and knock that out and start sanding it down. I'll do the same thing for the windows. What I do is I just take my pintail pencil and go along the outlines there, so I have a line to go by, some sort of guide. So I'll do all this off camera, and then when I come back for part 2, we'll start doing the cockpit. So that's it for part 1. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you for part 2.